Hey guys, I'm XA2, and like I said in the last video that went up on this day, I'll be back shortly to give an explanation for some of the changes that are going to be coming to the cover series. This is that video. We are here to talk about some of the changes to the cover series. So, as I mentioned before, there are going to be some reduxes of some covers. Went through them all, 151 of them, because I miscounted and the playlist was missing one. So what I thought was, the perfectly great breaking point of 150 was actually the slightly less whole number of 151. So I've been doing this for a while. I've done quite a few of them. And so I've went through some of the older ones particularly, wrote them down, and I'm like, okay, I'll redo these ones. And I've got a list of like 20 or something. So what I'll be doing is that I'll be alternating weeks. One week will be a redux. The following week will be a new cover, which is what this little notebook is. This is where I write down songs that I'm like, I think I want to cover this, so that I can keep track of them easily. And so, one of the things I've also been doing is going through like the list of songs that I know, the list of songs that I've like tossed chords and tabs on to Ultimate Guitar, like saved on my account, and been like, does this feel feasible to me? This feel feasible to me? And so I've been writing those down, so I have a significantly longer list than I was working with before. So, and I'll keep adding to that as I go forward. So, a couple of the problems have been solved. Originally, I was going to sort of relaunch with a Sloppy Covers Deluxe, as I was dubbing them in this sort of ideas phase. But I've decided to go against that, and rather than do that, I'm just going to do more 4-part covers, which is what I've started doing over the last, the sort of later parts of the last couple months. I've been working in more 4-parts for songs that I feel like I want to do 4-part covers for, so that will continue to go forward. While the basic gist is going to stay the same, that being, this is practice for me to stay, practicing my musicianship, playing instruments, performing music, and it's also sort of trying to remove some of the perfectionism from the sort of live performance nature that I'm trying to create here. I don't do one take, but I try to get it all into a single take. I do get it all into a single take. And so there are no breaks, there are no whatever. I might stop because I messed up or whatever, but, it's going to be all in this one take still. I'm still not going to do, time editing and sort of cutting out parts and shortening and any of that. And it's still going to be sort of live recorded. But I'm going to try to up my game in terms of production, because going back and listening to some covers, they are not produced very well. And so they don't hold up over time, I don't think. And maybe, to some extent, this amateur covers type of thing is more desired to be with lesser production, but personally, I'd rather listen to the ones that you can hear well. And some of them, I just have mixed poorly. And so, going forward, I'm going to pay more attention to production, and I'm going to pay more attention to, making sure beforehand that I actually can play the song, or vetting the songs better. Because that's something that I've run into here and there, is that oh yeah, I think I got it, and I've only really figured out the first verse, and then I get to the bridge, and it's oh, I have no idea what this bridge part is at all. So I'm going to try, put a little more into setup, pre-recording, and put a little more into production. so that it sounds a little better after I've done all of the editing. And there will also just be more 4-piece songs mixed in with the 1- and 2-piece songs that have been sort of the bread and butter of the series in the past. I don't know how many more. I do have a variety of 4-piece songs on the list. Some of them have been on the list for a long time because I'm still trying to figure them out. And that's sort of, the goal for me, for the cover series, is to continue to practice music and to try to get less, perfectionist about the live performance. Be okay with the mistakes, and recovering from the mistakes in the moment, not letting the mistake ruin the performance, because sometimes you can just start the song over, so I've seen it happen with the famous people. They screw something up earlier on, or we're just gonna start the song over. But sometimes you're most of the way through the song, so it's a bit late to start the song over. So you just need to not let the mistake trip you up, which is one of the things that I'm trying to use this series to work on. Keeping in practice and not letting mistakes trip me up during performance. So I'm going to try and sort of refocus on those goals and keep those goals, because those have been the goals of the series since I started it, and then also try to make it, something that is more interesting to watch and listen to as a viewer. Those are my goals going forward, and that means for stuff I'm going to work on, like I said, more 4 pieces, because I think those are a lot more visually interesting. There's a lot going on in them. Making it so I actually try and practice the songs a little bit. Because I often don't practice them, or I don't vet them enough beforehand to where there's just sections that I really don't know how to play or whatever. And working on making sure the production actually sounds good after the fact. That isn't going to be perfect all the time, because I've definitely had situations where I do the production in my audio editing software and it sounds fine, and then I move over like a couple days later and I'm editing it in the video editing software and it doesn't sound fine anymore. So, just might happen sometimes. But those are my goals. That's what's going to change, which is basically just not that much. There just might be a little more production going on than before. And that's just sort of slowly accumulated over the years anyway. So, more forward, more progress, just the same show, with hopefully a little more effort in it. And also redoing some of the old songs that I think were particularly in need of being done again. So yeah. Also, just want to put this out there. If you have songs you want to hear me do, feel free to leave a comment on, whatever the most recent cover is, be that this video, be that the cover that comes out, I believe next week will be the first cover. I'm going to start with Reduxes. So next week will be a Redux of an early cover. Start leaving comments. Let me know what songs you want to hear me do. I'll put the Reduxes in their own playlist separate from the Sloppy Covers playlist, so that they will sort of live on their own over there. Really, just leave comments. Tell me what songs you want to hear me do, and I'll consider them, because I'm trying to keep this series to songs that I actually know, rather than trying to learn new songs specifically for it. I just keep it to songs that I'm familiar with, and so if I don't know the song, I probably won't do it, but feel free to let me know what songs you want to hear. So, yeah, I think that's all I really had to say here. This has gone a little bit long, so I'm going to cut this off. Look forward to new covers coming soon. go watch the old covers if you like them. There's 151 of them, so there might be a song you like in there. There might be a performance that doesn't suck. Go check those out. And be sure to check out all the other videos I make on the channel. I make a bunch of stuff, at least 2 videos a week, generally. So do that. Subscribe to keep up with that stuff. Leave a comment for covers. Do things. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!